Let me be blunt with you because no one else will. That job ad right now that you have live, the one that's not attracting any top reps right now, it's only attracting the bottom feeders, the low performers. And it's not because there's no great closers applying that are out there. On the contrary, they're out there. But the reason they're not applying to yours is because right now, that job ad that you're currently running is written in such a boring, corporate, nonsense way that it makes them even cringe. You talk about right now having a collaborative environment. You then talk about the 12 vague responsibilities that they have to align to. And then you also talk about being like self-motivated. Listen, that's pretty cool. But the reality is that that right there attracts everybody and nobody of the ones that you actually want. I'm Jayce Grayye, founder of Jayce Consulting and Recruiting. And in the last 4.5 years, we placed over 1,000 sales reps in high performance sales team. And I'll be the first one to tell you that I've seen the firsthand of how one job description can change everything. Your job ad right now is the first filter. You get this wrong, you won't even be talking to closers. Look, we've all been there. You get the low signals, you get those that don't show up to the interviews, and then you get those who just simply say, look, I'm just looking for a base. I'll be happy with anything. And I get it. In some cases, some owners want to take that on, but I'll tell you right now, don't settle for that. I'm going to show you how to fix it. I'll share with you a real story. I had a founder who had a difficult challenge. He right now was bleeding on time and burnout. And quite frankly, he had a $2 million pipeline and had no rep to close it. So I said, hey, that's not a problem. Let's start from the basics. Let's start from the very top. Show me your job description. We went over the job description and everything that we saw was just vague. He laid out the responsibilities, but it wasn't clear. He laid out the compensation plan, but it wasn't clear. He laid out what a typical day in that life looked like, but it wasn't clear. So when we started going through everything in this process, we started realizing the reason you're not even getting the right people to apply for this job is because you're not being crystal clear. Let me tell you right now, the top performers, they need to see clarity. If they don't see clarity, they're not going to apply. So after we make these changes, 7 days later, we found him the right person, placed him in the organization. Boom, within 30 days, the guy got onboarded, started closing deals, and bam, by day 90, everything was restored. Here's the biggest problem I see with founders and sales leaders when it comes down to writing job description. And it's really how not to do this. And the first one on that list is creating a vague job description. Look, top performers, they don't like vague. They like clarity, as I was mentioning. All right. If they feel like this job description was written like in the 1990s, or this job description was written by ChatGPT, or if this job description is not really crystal clear on the responsibilities, the day to day, what's the deal size, what's the on target earnings, they are not going to apply. Okay. You have to be very transparent with these candidates so they know what they're stepping into. And I understand to some companies, they like to hold it to their chest and say, we're not going to disclose any of that information. Well, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to disclose that information, but you could go ahead and provide as much as you can in order to attract the right talent. And eventually, if you decide to just keep it to your chest too hard, too tight, you're going to be suffocating in opportunities of candidates that you would have been missing on. And that's going to hurt you when it goes to your competitors or to a different market share. So that's the first one on the list is generic job description. The second one on that list is that you make it all about you. What I mean by that is you don't necessarily tell them what's in it for them. You tell them like, hey, we're a great organization. We've been on Inc. 5000. We've been featured in Forbes. We've done X, Y, and Z. We do this and this and this and that. And then basically it becomes like this running joke of all the things you are wanting in a person, all the things you have accomplished, but you don't necessarily tell them what they can get out of it. And you have to realize it's a two-way street when it comes to recruiting top talent. You have to have the intention of knowing this is what you're going to get out of this, whether it's materialistic or whether it's promotion to career progression. You have to outline these things for them. And when you don't, what's going to happen is that they're going to not pay attention to that job ad. And then unfortunately, then you're going to be losing it out of it. Number three, make it polarizing. Don't make it just another generic job description that's out there everybody looks at. Give it some flavor. You know, if you're a startup or you're under 10 employees, or if you're sitting about like at a certain point, let them know like, hey, we're looking for someone who thrives in chaos because so many things can happen at once. And you could outline that for them and you can outline them on the job ad by being transparent. Again, just being transparent with them. Sometimes when you're not transparent and you're talking to a great rep, I've seen it before. They've been working at an organization that has over like 1,000 employees, But if you take that same person and put it in an organization that has, like, say, under 20, they tend to miss the mark because they're not familiar with the nuances of everything that could potentially be breaking as you're going through that process. So be transparent with them. Let them know where you're at. Let them know where you're going. Make it polarizing, make it fun, give it flavor, and you'll see it will attract the right people. Now, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of the most cringiest job ads I've seen. And personally, I've seen a lot of job ads. We're talking about thousands of them. And I'm going to be sharing with you what to look for and what to avoid when you're writing that out. And this is also key for those top reps. If you're looking out here and you're seeing these keywords here, you want to avoid these type of organizations at all costs. So the fifth one on that list, we're going to start off with those who say, oh, we're like a family. Yeah, does that mean that you get underpaid and can't leave? Is that what it means? Fourth on that list is when they say, oh, we're looking for a rockstar sales ninja, help wanted. Listen, do you think any closer that's out there that truly respects themselves see themselves as a sales ninja? I don't think so. Number three, when I see you must thrive in a fast paced environment. Definition, does that mean that you have no systems and you don't qualify any leads? Number two, work hard, play harder. Congratulations. That's what I like to call a frat house. And number one, must be a self starter. Like, what does that even mean? Like, they'll open Slack unprompted. If you're at, say, any of these, just go ahead and delete it. You'll thank me later. Here's what it comes down to. When you post this and a closer looks over it, they're going to skim over it and they're going to look at really four things. The first one is going to be the compensation plan. Can they actually make money with you? The second one on that list is the autonomy. Are they going to be able to be trusted with the leads, or are they going to have someone over their shoulder making sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing? Number three is the pipeline. Can they potentially have leads and appointments coming in their pipeline in order for them to close? And then number four is growth. Is there an opportunity for them to walk into your business and potentially go up that ladder? If they can't really see that within about 15 seconds, they'll go ahead and move on to the next job. Now, I don't want you to worry because I'm going to be sharing with you the exact framework that we use every single week to attract top reps. The first one on that list is hook the hunter. Listen, in sales, it's all about hooks, right? It's no different when it comes to writing a job ad. Now, what you want to do is you want to be crystal clear. What you're going to do is you're going to say, lead with the mission and the money. And then you're going to be talking about how you got X amount in the pipeline. It could be 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, whatever that number is. Talk about how you need someone to come in and close it. And then talk about what the on target earnings is going to be, like realistically going to be. Can it be 100,000? Can it be 150,000? Can it be 250,000? Be crystal clear. Okay. Number second is clarifying the kill. Spell out what they actually do. Do they own the inbound process? Do they own the outbound process? Right. How long are the sales cycles? It's going to be a week. Is it going to be a month? How many can they close? Number three, call out the pain. Okay. Great reps are running right now from bad setups, tired every single week of just leading with cap compensation plans. And this is your time for you to lead and show how yours is better than the rest. Number four, set the bar. Be blunt with them. If it's going to take about 90 days for them to close 6 deals, say that because they need to see themselves in that position in those 90 days. Number five, talk about the stakes. Don't talk about the person. Talk about the purpose. Talk about the fact that you're at X and you're trying to go to X. So that means if you're at 1 million, you're trying to get to 10 million, state that. Let them know that you are clear, you're intentional with your business and with who you're recruiting. All right, so right now I'm going to be going over what I like to call the closer magnet job ad. That's right. And right here, I'm going to be giving you 2 examples. We're going to be showing you the bad and the good. Now, let's start with the bad. The one that you're going to be seeing right now is the bad. You're going to notice that it's missing quite a bit of information. And it starts off with having big responsibilities. It only talks about what they want and what they need, but they don't talk about the compensation. They don't talk about growth opportunities. Imagine for a second you're applying and you don't see any of that stuff there. Now, I'm going to be showing you what a good job ad looks like. You're going to see from the very beginning, it's crystal clear. There's no vague responsibilities. They talk about compensation. They're describing exactly what they're looking for and what a typical day in that life in that seat looks like. That is the difference between the bad job ad and the good job ad. And imagine for a second, you're the closer and you see the bad job ad and the good job ad. Which one's going to stop you on your tracks? Exactly. See, the closer magnet job ad received 60% fewer ghosted interviews, 5 times more quality candidates, and cut the time to hire in half because all we did was speak the language of a top sales rep. That's all you have to do. Because if you do, they don't hesitate. Practically, that job ad became your first filter, your first impression, and your first close. If your job ad right now is not attracting killers, you're not hiring wrong, you're positioned wrong. And that's where we come in. At Jayce Consulting and Recruiting, we have written and optimized job ads that have brought in over 1,000 closers. So whether you're looking to hire your first rep or bring in your 30th, we'll help you fix that so you can attract the killers and don't have to settle for another month of mid-tier top talent. If you enjoyed watching this, like, comment, subscribe, fill out the form below if you need any help, and we'll see you on the other side.